Hey everybody, I'm Sam Haymart and you're watching Growing Older Gay. This is Kitchen Table for Friday, May 9th, 2025. Yeah, it's almost middle of May. And so this is our weekly check-in where I get to sit down at my kitchen table and talk to you about what's going on in the areas of the world that I care about, and also what I hear from other friends out there in the LGBTQ plus community, the fishbowl, as it were. Now, one of the things that's going on in my life right now is I'm getting ready to go to Chicago for International Mr. Leather in about 2 weeks. And it's an exciting week of leather, fetish, and kink in Chicago, all in one place where we get together and there's a big leather competition. There's a lot of classes, a lot of fellowship, a lot of fun. And one of the things I was able to do leading up to this was get this shirt from Chris Lopez Studios. He's an artist that does a lot of male fetish art, leather guy art. He's exceptional. I've got art on my wall over there, and I've got some other garments that have his work on it. But he did this special edition shirt for IML. Now, I'm not sure if this is actually going to be available at IML this year, but if you go to his website, which is linked down below, he's got a lot of great stuff, a lot of great art, and you might be able to find a few more of these if you're interested. Chris Lopez, I'm all about his art. Very, very nice. And part of IML is that I've been really trying to lose weight here in the last couple of weeks, and I'm getting absolutely nowhere. I'm in my mid 50s right now, and weight just wants to stick to me. I have to call the sheriff and get an eviction notice. It's almost that bad. I exercise, I eat like a bird, but my body just wants to keep it. And I've struggled with it all my life, so really nothing new. But the fact of the matter is almost all my leathers that I'm going to take to my IML week are fitted for somebody that weighs 170 pounds. And I weigh about 190, 195 right now. And so some of it fits, some of it doesn't. I might have to leave some of it here. And it's killing me. It's just driving me bonkers. And so 2 weeks away, I'm really starting to freak out because I've been working on it for about a little over a month now to try to push that weight down. And I literally haven't lost a pound, and it's really messing with my head. It really is. I want to look good. Summer's coming. I want to, it's IML. You always want to look good when you go to one of these things. And honestly though, I was a fat kid growing up. So when I look in the mirror, I never look good. And that's just, I'm being honest with you folks. That's where I'm at. But everybody out there tells me, they roll their eyes and go, you look great. You're fabulous just the way you are. And I'm just like, no, you're wrong. I need to lose 20 pounds. Anyway, so on with our show today. A lot of big news this week going on, both good and not so good. The first thing that I wanted to talk about was the new Pope. And Pope Leo XIV was announced yesterday. Now, I am not a religious person. I do not practice a religion. Do I believe in God? Yes. Do I love God and have a relationship with God? Yes. Do I believe that God loves gay people and loves me for who I am? Yeah, he made me just the way I am. And I have no problem with that. And so yesterday I was a Catholic for a little while. I was really listening in and following very closely the announcement of the new Pope. I wanted to hear what he had to say because Francis, most people agree, especially if you're in the progressive or LGBTQ plus community, that Francis is a pretty good Pope for moving the ball forward and being more inclusive, more loving. I really wanted to hear what he had to say. And so some of the news out there on this new Pope is actually pretty good. He had some very nice things to say in his opening remarks yesterday about inclusiveness, about building bridges, about having sympathy and love for everyone. Now, what I've read, though, is there are some concerns out there that he may not have some of the same beliefs around the LGBTQ plus people that Francis did, where Francis was famous for saying, who am I to judge? In the case of the new Pope, he has had statements out there in the past where it's more about, we want to be welcoming, we want to be inclusive, but do we want to accept? Not sure. The jury's going to be out on that, but I have high hopes that the first Pope from America will at the very least have some influence on our body politic here. Probably not, one can hope, but I think having a Pope that can come to our country when he visits, or who can speak English once in a while and speak more directly to people, might reach more hearts. And so we'll see. I think it can only be a good thing if he continues the legacy of Pope Francis and being more inclusive, more loving, and a little bit more open-minded. So we'll see where that goes. Now, not so good news. Supreme Court allows military trans ban to move forward. Now, what this means is there is a case moving through the Supreme Courts that fights the transgender ban that the president put in place. That is still moving through the courts. The Trump administration went to the Supreme Court in an emergency bid to have the stay on that removed so they can start enforcing it, even though it's working through the courts. Now, typically that's not the ideal situation, because if it turns out to be wrong and they strike it down, then there's damage that's been done and will be done. So the first thing I would tell you is that this isn't over. The case that's fighting this is moving through the court, and there is a chance, although a pretty slim one, that it could get high enough in the courts and maybe all the way to the Supreme Court where the trans ban will be put down. But for now, it's allowed to be in place, which means that if you are a transgender person in the military, your job is at risk if it hasn't already been put to a stop. Your career is on hold. And so it's a sad day in that way, because we've got thousands of men and women who are in the military who are transgender, and they have distinguished careers. They are just as capable in every way as everybody else. But when it comes to discrimination, obviously the court is allowing that to go forward. So hopefully as this goes through the court system, someday down the road, we'll have a resolution that's much better than this. But this was a loss this week. And we've had a lot of wins, our community, fighting in the courts against everything this new administration has done. We've had a lot of wins. There's a lot of good news to talk about, but this is one of the lesser things. Good news, Salt Lake City and Boise, Idaho, bucking the trend of the angry red hats who run their states, who made essentially flying the pride flag illegal on government grounds. What they've done is these cities have adopted variations of the pride flag or pride flags themselves as an official flag of their cities. And so what that means is, even though there is now a state law that prevents government buildings from flying pride flags because they've now been officially made official flags of the cities, Salt Lake City and Boise, Idaho can both fly those flags and circumvent the law, which is heartening. It's nice to know that not everybody that lives in those two states, deep red states, are angry, judgmental, closed-minded bigots. It's nice to know that there are still people who love and who practice inclusivity and open-mindedness. And so that's just a wonderful piece of news. It's a bright spot in today's landscape. It just is. And so it just made me happy to see that there are ways around a lot of this stuff that's happening right now. Yeah, good energy, good energy. One of the things that I like to talk about is, we're here to live and to thrive, not just survive. A lot of us just survive. We get through life. We go to work. We just make it. That doesn't mean that we can't use this opportunity to really step on the gas and do important things, not only for ourselves, but for other people. And so one of the things I've really tried to do here in the last few years of my life is to get involved with things, find things that I love, find things that I'm wanting to put energy into to help other people. And one of the ways I've done that is with a local group here in Phoenix called Ripple Phoenix. And what they do is they do HIV testing at a lot of local LGBTQ plus events and at venues. So when you're at the fair, when you're at the bar, you walk up, there's the bus. We're offering HIV testing. And if you test positive, we can offer navigation for HIV services. And if you want PrEP, we can offer navigation for that. And in a lot of ways, we really help people get connected with these services that wouldn't otherwise take the time to go to the doctor and do it, or they wouldn't take the time to go get tested. And so it's an invaluable resource for the community because it just brings it right to the people where they are. And I love doing it. I actually do HIV testing. I sit across the table from a lot of strangers every week. I'll be doing it tonight, in fact. And we do testing, and it's a very intimate moment that allows me to be of help to other people in ways that I never really know how it's going to go as the test goes on. And so I really enjoy that. But the point I'm making is organizations like Ripple Phoenix are facing the potential loss, many have lost already, of grant funding that comes from places like the CDC, the federal government, because of what's going on in Washington. They're just pulling the cord on all of that stuff. And so one of the things that Ripple Phoenix is doing to help offset that potential loss of funds is they started their own internal print shop. Yeah. Now they're creative folks. So what they're doing is they are starting out right now by selling die-cut stickers and banners for your event, things like that. And I got my own sticker right here. This is a picture of me with the Ripple Phoenix logo on it. And they actually made these for all of us in the team so that we can promote this and talk about this. And now I'm going to put my sticker all over, coming to a light pole near you. But you can actually go to the Ripple Phoenix website. You can check it out. All of the money, you can get your own stickers made. It can be a logo. It can be any art, any size, actually. You can get your banners made. All of the money raised goes into the 501c3. It's there as a fundraising component. And so it gives you the opportunity to, the things you may already be buying, you can do it for good. And their prices are actually pretty competitive too, with Sticker Mule and a lot of those organizations out there like that. So I just wanted to put a plug in for that because they made me stickers of myself. Me. Yeah. All right. So there's that. Now, the last thing I want to close with today is I'm a car guy. I love cars. I've been around cars all my life. I've been a car enthusiast, a car nut in some cases. And over the last 20 years, that's enabled me to be a pretty credible automotive journalist. And I have a YouTube channel. Some of you already know that, Test Driven TV. That's what that silver plaque is over there behind my back. It's talking about the 100,000 plus subscribers that website has, that YouTube channel has. And so I test cars every week. I get a new car every week to test. And I also every once in a while order some new thing that I think is newsworthy and might be fun. And a new startup automotive brand just popped out of the woodwork last month called Slate. They are going to start building a small, inexpensive, simple, down to the bare bones, compact pickup truck. A single cab, electric. It's so plain it doesn't even come with an audio system. Crank windows, and it promises to sell for under $20,000 after the federal tax rebate, which means about $27,000 for an EV pickup truck. And they are taking reservations right now on their website. They build them one way, and then you can accessorize them after it's built. And so I put my reservation in for one. It's still 2 years away, and it may never come at all because it is a startup company. These things are fickle. But yeah, Slate. And you can see right there on the screen, I have built my own with my own customizations. Now that the actual truck I order may change down the road because it is 2 years away. Tastes change, budgets change, things like that. But I think this is just a fun little project and I look forward to it. Should it happen? Yeah, why not? It's something to romance for a while when I need a thing to kind of divert my attention from trying to thrive. So the next thing I want to talk about on that, and the reason I brought this whole thing up, is because I just finished a test drive of the new 2025 Honda Civic Hybrid. Yeah, they have a hybrid this year for 2025 in the Honda Civic line. It is not only the most powerful Honda Civic you can get short of the high-performance Civic Type R, but it is the most efficient, up to 50 miles per gallon. And look at that bright blue color this one came in. And so I'm plugging my test drive review just a little bit to close out our kitchen table for today. You can see the video on that right there. And it's about a 10-minute video. And you can also subscribe to Growing Old and Gay right there if this is what you're into. Either way, stay tuned.